When most people think about making money or more money online, they think about getting a second job, right? It feels safe, it's familiar, like the responsible thing to do. Here's the truth nobody says out loud about a second job. You're trading your most valuable asset, and that asset is your time for a fixed hourly rate. As a single woman over 50, your time is not unlimited. So let's do the math right now. Even at $25 an hour, at 20 hours a week, that's $2,000 a month before taxes. So for 20 additional hours of your precious time, hours you could have spent with your family, with your friends, traveling, resting, living. Here's the part that really gets me. That number, it never grows, honey. Your work, 20 hours, you get paid for 20 hours, period. What if those same 20 hours could go towards something that scaled for you? Something that gave you passive income, that paid you $600, $900, $1,400 in a single day without punching a clock. That's what I want to talk about with you today. So please just stay with me, okay? Now, from my personal perspective, I have worked two jobs. I've worked three jobs. I've worked two full-time jobs and a part-time job all at the same time. And for those of you that think, man, come on, she lying, kick rocks, okay? 3 to 11, 11 to 7, 10 to 1. Okay? That's all I'm going to say about that. So I know what life looks like when you're grinding like that, and it sucks. I know what it feels like to come home and have really nothing left, not your family, nothing for yourself, just nothing. I was physically exhausted. I was mentally drained and still asking, at the end of the day, will this ever be enough? And the answer I kept coming up with was no. I did everything they tell you to do. I worked harder. I picked up more hours. I grounded out, and I did. I did it for years. I did it at a time when my mother was ill. She was a nurse. She was waiting on disability. She had very little coming in, and I had to cover her, myself, and my sister. And I did that for a very long time. Look, here's what nobody tells you about that path. It has a ceiling. It has a ceiling that will cost you everything to reach it. Then life shifted. Decades later, I moved to another country, and suddenly the option to go get a job, even if I wanted to, was off the table. I couldn't work there, the traditional way. So once I got to South America, I'm thinking differently. I had to find something that was going to work across borders, across time zones, on my schedule, in my own space. That's when I found Legacy Builders. And honestly, this is the first time in a long time that I feel like I'm building something that is going to be exclusively mine, exclusively for me, and that will build an income for me, for my future. So let me tell you about Legacy Builders and how it works. So Legacy Builders, it is a system. I call it a system. It's a digital course, okay? Basically, it's a digital course with master resale rights. So in plain English, what does that mean? It means that you purchase this course one time, you receive the full course, and you also receive the rights to sell it as your own product, and you keep 100% of every single dollar that you sell. It's not a percentage. It's not a commission after someone else takes their cut. You get every single dollar. There's no employer. There is no hourly rate. There is no ceiling on what you can earn. Like anything, what you put into it, you will eventually get out of it. Like anything in life. Here's how it works. I'm going to break it down for you step by step. Step one, you purchase Legacy Builders one time. That's it. This is a one-time investment, not a subscription, no monthly fees. You pay for it once, okay? And that's it. Step two, you receive the full course and the resale rights. The course itself teaches you digital marketing. It teaches you how to sell online, how to build an audience, skills that will pay you for the rest of your life. Step three, you set up your digital storefront. This does not require a technical degree at all. The training walks you through everything. If you can send an email to someone, you can do this. Trust me, I've done it. You sell the course as your own. You keep every single dollar. Someone buys from you for $900. That $900 goes directly into your pocket, not to a company, not to split with anyone. It's completely yours. Over 60,000 members have chosen this way to earn income over a second job because they saw the difference between a job that maxes out and a business that will build and grow with you over time. A second job has a ceiling. Legacy Builders does not. Now, I can hear the birds chirping out there in your brain. So let me address what, might be going through your mind right now, because I too, honestly, I had the same thoughts. I am a Scorpio, so I am critical of everything by nature. That is my nature. So first question, is this a scam? I've seen so many things out there talking about Legacy Builders is a scam. Look, let me tell you this. I hear it. I respect it, because you should question everything. I did. But let me ask you this. Is selling a product and keeping the profit a scam? That's called business. Boutique owners do it. Authors do it. Coaches do it. Master resale rights is a legal and legitimate business model that's been around for years, okay? The difference is digital products have no inventory, no shipping, no overhead, and what you're selling is real. The course is real. The earnings are real, okay? I'm not tech savvy. Well, guess what? Neither was I. I come from, government, an era of working for government. So whenever I had tech issues, I'm not trying to figure out nothing. I pick up the phone, I dial my IT department, and they come over and they resolve whatever issues I had for me, okay? So I get it. Legacy Builders, however, includes training that walks you through every single setup, my friend, from the very beginning, okay? You don't need to know how to build a website from scratch. You don't need to understand coding and how to code. If you can follow steps, you can follow directions on a screen, you can do this. The community of over 60,000 members is also there to support us every single step of the way. And I have leaned on them on more than one occasion. And every time I reach out, someone has been there to respond to me. I don't have the time. Here's the thing. You're already thinking about giving 20 hours a week to a second job that is going to have you locked in at a certain amount of money that you cannot scale from and that you cannot build from. In addition to that, you're considering taking on a second job that you have no guarantee will be there tomorrow, let alone your first job. Legacy Builders does not require any of that. There are many women in this community, they work the margins of their day, okay? On a lunch break, on an evening, on a Saturday morning. And unlike any other job, the hours you put in today can pay you tomorrow, next week, next month, even when you're not working, when you're sleeping, you can be making money round the clock. What if I can't sell? I don't have any sales experience. You don't need to be a salesperson. You don't need to have sales experience. You just need to be honest and share what worked for you. You're sharing your story. Why in the world did you even need to choose Legacy Builders? What's your story? Were you divorced and you just no longer had a second income? Money got tight. Were you widowed and maybe there was not a good plan created or left for you when your spouse passed on? Are you just a single person just struggling trying to make ends meet? Just be honest. You need to share what works for you, what worked for you and what led you to it. That's it. The training teaches you exactly how to attract the right people. Women who are already looking for what you have to offer. You're not convincing anyone. You're just showing up for the people who are ready and sharing your story. That's it. You learn the skill sets that you can take to build upon your own business that you're creating, or if you want to help somebody else build theirs. You have skills that cannot be taken away from you, skills that will work for you time and time again into the future. I'm telling you what the future holds. You're either going to be someone that has the knowledge, you have the digital marketing, you have the skill sets, you know how to use AI, and you can use that to build your own business or help someone else build theirs, or you're going to be the person that is paying somebody else to do something for you. Those are going to be the only two options. Either you're going to learn it and do it yourself, or you're going to be pushing out money, paying someone else to do the things for you that you need to have done, because that's where the world is going right now. So here's what I want to land with you today. This is what I want you to take away. You can trade 20 hours a week for a fixed paycheck. that never grows for someone else's business, for someone else's dream, where you have no guarantee that that job will be there tomorrow. You can do that. That's your choice. Everything in this world is about free will and choice. So you can make that choice. Or you can take those same 20 hours and you can invest those into yourself and into something that belongs strictly to you, something that you'll be able to scale, something that your future self will thank you for, that your lineage will thank you for. Over 60,000 people have made that choice, and they didn't do it because it was the easy thing to do. They did it because it was the smart thing to do. This is not some overnight success. You're going to have to put in some time. I'll tell you from my personal perspective, having left the US and moving abroad, I had a little money saved. I had a little nest egg. I had something that I could work with. But it's not going to last forever. And I'm glad I came across Legacy Builders when I did. But honestly, I wish I would have known about it when I was still working. When, I had the time on the weekends or a couple of hours after work to invest in something for me, because I'm just thinking about where I could have scaled and where I could have be right now as opposed to where I am. But it's never too late. You start where you can start, you get in where you can fit in, and you make it work for yourself. My personal experience, my personal suggestion is for anyone that is interested or cares about building something more solid, a financial future that they own. I wouldn't tell you to quit your job. No, hold on to your job. I wouldn't quit a thing. But if you're thinking about, oh, I need a second income. Oh, I'm going to go do Uber Eats. Oh, I'm going to go do DoorDash. Child, please stop the madness. What you need to do is build something for yourself. Start to launch something for yourself that you will be able to scale for yourself, and think about where you might be a year from today. Just think about that. Where might I be a year from today if I take a chance and I invest in myself? So if this spoke to you, I want you to click the link in my description. The free training walks you through absolutely everything. Look, there's no pressure. There's no pitch, just information so you can make the best decision for your life. This will not be for everyone, but if you're someone out there that knows that you deserve more and feels that life should not be hard, then this is for you. And drop no more second jobs in the comments below, because I want to know who's in the room with me and who's hearing what I have to say. I read every single one and I will respond to every single one. And that's all I have for you today, lovelies. Think about your future. Think about the importance of protecting not just your finances and protecting your physicality from all these hours that you're putting in, extra hours working for someone else. It takes a toll on the body, okay? It takes a toll on your mind. Protect yourself, protect your sanity, protect your financial future. Think about taking a chance on yourself instead of investing into someone else's dream. That's all I got today, lovelies. Thank you for sticking around, and until next time.